Okay, so I was wanting to take a moment here to talk about something I discovered the other day in regard to fonts, typefaces, and band logos. So, for those of you who don't know, Ramones and their logo is in the Franklin Gothic typeface, designed in 1904 by Morris Fuller Benton. Here's a picture of him right here. Dapper, fine fellow. For the American Type Founders Company, Franklin Gothic was originally conceived as only one weight. Over the next several years, the ATF family was expanded to include italic, condensed, condensed shaded, extra condensed, and wide variants. For some unknown reason, no light or intermediate weights were ever created. In 1979, under license from ATF, International Typeface Corporation created 4 new weights: book, medium, demi, and heavy, in Roman and Italic versions. Designed by Victor Caruso, these new designs match the pure characteristics of the original Franklin Gothic, adhering closely to the subtle thick and thin pattern of the original ATF typeface, while featuring a slightly enlarged lowercase x height. This increased x height, which improved the typeface's appearance and readability, and the availability of larger family-made ITC Franklin Gothic a preferred choice when setting large blocks of sans serif text. Franklin Gothic was named by Morris Fuller Benton in honor of Benjamin Franklin, whom Benton greatly admired for his significant contributions to American history and culture, and to printing in particular. So, as you can see, the logo originally would have been, one of the other versions. It wouldn't have been heavy, because heavy wasn't around until 79. We can take a look in here, look at the similarities. So if I just put the cursor here and type in Ramones, and bring that down, I'll zoom in a bit so we can really get the height squared away. So put that there, and there. There we go. Dead on. So I'll scoot this over a bit. You can see the R is almost exact. I mean, some of these are really, really, really close. I'm gonna change the kerning just a hair. And there we go. So we got the logo. And as you can see, it's almost an exact match. As I said, Road to Ruin was probably designed before heavy was even commonplace in graphic design houses. We can definitely notice the major differences is how the N is. How it kind of swoops in right there. We can see it kind of swoops in right here. And also with the same with the M, how it kind of does that as well. But with the original, it's just a really jagged point. But everything else is almost dead on exact. So anyway, so you can see Franklin Gothic. I'm not sure exactly what weight or what type that they use on the original Ramones logo, but it is close enough we can say heavy. So, with that being said, most punk bands, whenever they came around and started doing logos, most of them just went, well, the Ramones are doing it, we'll do it too. So that really became apparent in the 90s when everybody was trying to bring up that reunion or that revival of the Ramones pop punk style. So we got bands like Huntington's. And Huntington's did the same thing. So we can type out a logo for them as well. Oops, turn caps lock off. So there's that. We'll zoom in a bit. So the thing about the Huntington's logo in particular is the fact that is a stretched out version, and I'm not really sure exactly how that would be defined, if that's condensed, or if that's book, or if it's semi, or if it's demi, or if it's whatever. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch it out, because I'm not really sure exactly what the technical term is for that. So once we have that established, now that we have that, then we can change this to, what, 110 maybe? Oh, negative. My bad. Negative 110. So, after doing all that, you can see that Franklin Gothic Heavy is an exact match for the Huntington's logo. I mean, it's exactly the same. The scan is a little bit crooked, but oh well, you get the idea. But there you go, boom, exactly the same. So, yeah, with that being said, so that's the Huntington's logo, Franklin Gothic Heavy. And they basically carried that on from High School Rock on through the entire, Ramon thing. So we got High School Rock, we got Live, we have File Under Ramones, we have Get Lost. And I like on Get Lost how it cuts off the letters on either end. And did the same thing with Plastic Surgery, cut off the letters on either end. Pull the Plug, and the new album, Dead Gel Rock and Roll. Now, the thing about Dead Gel Rock and Roll is with the logo, it's not elongated. It's just a flat, straight Franklin Gothic Heavy. So if we do a new layer here, let's see. I'm just gonna do that. Anyway, yeah. So that's like, what, 55? Or 45, shoot. 45, yeah, there we go. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, it's, yeah, there's no modification to the height. The logo is just straight. So, yeah, see, the letters are just straight. And you can see that with 100% vertical. So, yeah. But anyway, so all this to say, so I was going over some stuff, and I was looking at some logos and whatnot, and comparing some things and that kind of thing. And I couldn't help but notice that if we look at, go back to High School Rock, if we look at the CD, you definitely notice it's Franklin Gothic, because again, if we look at the N, how the N has a slant here, and the G, how the G has a diagonal line here. So it's vertical, or it's horizontal, vertical. It's a 90-degree angle there, but it's not a 90-degree angle there. If we look at the O is kind of this perfect oval, and the S has a diagonal there, and then the N is the same weight on all three lines. So if we look over here, we notice the O is 90-degree angles here. The S is flat. The N, the diagonal slant is actually a smaller weight than the two vertical ends. If we look at the U, it's a narrower weight on this side than it is on this side, so it's asymmetrical. Whereas on the vinyl, it's completely symmetrical. So I was like, what the heck? How the heck is this? How do we have the exact same album, but we have two completely different fonts? Doesn't make any sense. See? Two completely different fonts. And it's the same image, but it's just a record. You're seeing more of it. I'll expand it here in a bit. So I was like, this is the most bizarre thing ever. So I was like, let me look at some other albums. So looking, we see that All the Stuff and More, Volume 1, Also, let's see, 90-degree angles, a thinner weight on the diagonal than the verticals, flat on the S. The O is much more elongated. We look at growing up is no fun. We have 90-degree angle on the G, a thinner diagonal than the N, completely flat line on the S, kind of a oval thing there. So that, all the stuff, high school rock on vinyl, these are all the same logo. But these are not the same logo as the band's actual logo, which is Franklin Gothic Heavy. So then I got to thinking, well, what the heck even is this logo? So again, I took this scan, I uploaded it to the internet to analyze the typeface. And what we came up with is, as far as the typeface goes, is, so that's Franklin Gothic. What it actually is it's Helvetica New 87 Heavy Condensed. I'm like, what the heck? Helvetica? Who the heck put the Huntington's logo in Helvetica? For those of you who don't know, let's take a quick history lesson here. So, Helvetica is a widely used sans serif typeface developed in 1957 by Swiss typeface designer Max Meininger, with input from Edward Hoffmann. Helvetica is a neo-grotesque design, one influenced by the famous 19th century typeface Grotesque and other German and Swiss designs. Its use became a hallmark of the international typographic style that emerged from the work of Swiss designers in the 1950s and 60s, becoming one of the most popular typefaces of the 20th century. Over the years, a wide range of variants have been released with different weights, heights, widths, sizes, as well as matching designs for a range of non-Latin alphabets. Notable features of Helvetica as originally designed include a high X height, the termination of strokes on horizontal or vertical lines, and an unusually tight spacing between letters, which combine to give it a dense, solid appearance. And then blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Meininger and Hoffmann set out to create a neutral typeface that had great clarity, no intrinsic meaning in its form, and could be used in a wide variety of signages. Originally named New Haus Grotesque, it was rapidly licensed by Linotype and renamed Helvetica in 1960, which in Latin means Swiss. So the name of the font is literally Swiss. Capitalizing on Switzerland's reputation as a center of ultra-modern graphic design. A feature-length film directed by Gary Hutzwit was released in 2007 to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the typeface's introduction in 1957. So let's take a look here at logos in Helvetica. 20 famous logos made by Helvetica. American Airlines, Lufthansa. Oh, get this ad out of here. American Apparel, North Face. Knoll, Microsoft, Skype. It's a rounded kind of bubbly Helvetica, but it's Helvetica nonetheless. Panasonic, Harley Davidson, believe it or not, Jeep, Scotch, 3M, Target, JCPenney, Oral-B, Dole, Nestle, and yada yada yada. So, as you can see, a ton of companies use Helvetica. Everybody and their dog use Helvetica. But anyway, we're still trying to get the weight of the typeface just correct.
Mommy's on the couch watching TV. Daddy's hooking up with you, baby. Mommy's in his closet sniffing glue.
Alright, so there we go. We finished typing out. So there you go. As you can see, this logo is exactly Helvetica. It couldn't be any further from the truth of being Helvetica. And this is the most bizarre thing ever because their logo is very strictly has always been, well, for the Ramones stuff, has been Franklin Gothic heavy. And for some reason, and what's even more bizarre is the cassette tape. If we zoom in on the cassette tape, oh, come on. Cassette tape, Franklin Gothic heavy, diagonal, same width, does the dip in there. So cassette tapes, Franklin Gothic heavy, compact disc, Franklin Gothic heavy, vinyl record, Helvetica. Franklin, Helvetica. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of High School Rock here since we're done looking at that. But what I thought would be kind of interesting would be to quickly correct this. Inset that just ever so slightly. Okay. Select inverse. New. Black. Yes. Okay, so we'll put that there. Get rid of that. I don't even want to even look at this. Freaking Helvetica. So yeah, I have a logo here. Copy that. Paste. It's way too stinking big.
It's a blue stiff, then shotgun. It's a blue stiff, then shotgun. Oh.
Boom. There. So the best of album has been fixed. Yay, typography. So I'll go ahead and save this file. Save as. Best of JPEG. Save. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that's been fixed now. I'll probably go ahead and upload that to the internet as well, just for kicks and giggles. But yeah, so I mean, this video's gone on long enough. I'll probably cut it up a little bit, but I just thought it was interesting. I was poring over everything, and I just thought it was funny that the vinyl release of High School Rock is using a completely different logo than what it's supposed to be using as far as the band logo, because the band logo is not in Helvetica. So somebody dropped the ball in the graphic design. I don't know if that was Susie or if that was Scott, one or the other. Somebody dropped the ball, but oh well. So there, I guess that's all there is for that. So thanks for watching and peace out.